Welcome to Oasisify, everybody. They are the legends of the people. They are the voices of the oppressed. They are the ones who stand up against the tyranny of power and fight for the common man. They are the real-life Robin Hoods who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. From the daring heists of John Dillinger to the revolutionary spirit of Che Guevara and the unwavering heroism of Harriet Tubman, these real-life outlaws have defied the odds and inspired the masses. With tales of courage, cunning, and sacrifice, they have become the ultimate symbols of hope and justice. Their stories are larger than life, their deeds are immortal, and today we honor their legacy. So join us for the ultimate countdown of the most fearless and heroic Robin Hoods of our time. This is the power of the people. This is the top 10 real-life Robin Hoods. Number 10. Che Guevara. Che Guevara is often referred to as the Robin Hood of Latin America due to his reputation of fighting for the rights of the poor and oppressed. As a Marxist revolutionary, Che led a group of rebels in the Cuban Revolution who overthrew the corrupt Batista regime and redistributed land and resources to the people of Cuba. He believed that the power of the people could overthrow oppressive regimes and create a more just and equitable society. After the Cuban Revolution, Che continued to fight for social justice in other Latin American countries, including Bolivia and the Congo. He is celebrated as a symbol of resistance and revolution to this day, with his image and message inspiring people around the world. Despite his controversial legacy, though, Che's Robin Hood-like reputation of taking from the rich and giving to the poor has made him an enduring symbol of hope for those fighting for social justice and equality. Number 9. Amado Carrillo Fuentes. Amado Carrillo Fuentes, also known as the Lord of the Skies, is often compared to Robin Hood for his reputation of using his drug empire to help the poor and marginalized in Mexico. Despite being one of the most notorious drug lords of the 20th century, Carrillo Fuentes was known for his charitable work and for using his wealth to help those in need. Carrillo Fuentes is said to have built schools, hospitals, and housing for the poor, and was known to pay for the medical expenses of those who could not afford it. His reputation as a modern-day Robin Hood has made him a controversial figure, with some seeing him as a hero for helping those in need, while others condemn him for his involvement in the drug trade. Despite the controversy surrounding his legacy, Carrillo Fuentes' Robin Hood-like reputation lives on as a symbol of the complex and often contradictory nature of power, wealth, and social justice. Number 8. Abbie Hoffman. Abbie Hoffman, the American political and social activist, has been called the Robin Hood of activism for his reputation of taking from the powerful and giving to the powerless. Abbie was a key figure in the counterculture movement of the 60s and 70s, advocating for civil rights, anti-war, and environmental causes. He used humor, creativity, and theatricality to draw attention to the injustices of the time, including corporate greed and government corruption. Abbie Hoffman's legacy as the Robin Hood of activism continues to inspire and motivate activists to fight for a better world, and his belief that change is possible through collective action remains as relevant today as it was during his time. Number 7. Assata Shakur. Assata Shakur is often referred to as the Robin Hood of Black liberation due to her reputation of fighting for the rights of Black people in America. As a member of the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army, Assata worked tirelessly to end police brutality and institutional racism. She believed in the power of Black people to create a better future for themselves and fought for the right to self-determination. After being falsely accused of murder, Assata was forced to flee to Cuba, where she was granted political asylum. Despite being persecuted by the U.S. government, Assata's legacy as a symbol of resistance and revolution lives on. To this day, Assata Shakur continues to inspire and motivate people around the world to fight for Black liberation and social justice. Her legacy as the Robin Hood of Black liberation will never be forgotten. Number 6. John Perkins. John Perkins, an American author and former economic hitman, can be seen as a modern-day Robin Hood. In his book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, Perkins describes how he and other economic hitmen worked for corporations and the U.S. government to exploit and manipulate developing countries for their own benefit. But instead of continuing on this path of exploitation, Perkins chose to speak out about the corruption he witnessed and work to make amends for his past actions. He has dedicated his life to exposing the truth about economic imperialism and working to create a more just and equitable world. Like Robin Hood, Perkins has taken from the wealthy and powerful by sharing his knowledge and experience to empower and uplift the marginalized and oppressed. His work has inspired countless others to stand up against economic injustice and work towards a more equitable global community. In a world where economic inequality continues to plague millions, Perkins' dedication to fighting for justice and equality makes him a modern-day hero, just like Robin Hood. Number 5. Eduardo Galeano. Eduardo Galeano was a Uruguayan journalist, writer, and political activist who is often compared to Robin Hood for his efforts to expose social and economic injustices in Latin America. Galeano's most famous book, The Open Veins of Latin America, is a scathing critique of the exploitation of Latin America by foreign powers and has inspired many in the region to fight for social justice. Galeano believed that the words and ideas could be powerful tools for social change, and he used his writing and speeches to highlight the struggles of the poor and marginalized in Latin America. To this day, Eduardo Galeano is celebrated as a symbol of resistance and revolution, and his legacy as the Robin Hood of Latin America lives on. Number 4. Abimael Guzmán. Abimael Guzmán, the founder and leader of the Maoist guerrilla group Shining Path in Peru, is sometimes compared to Robin Hood for his advocacy of redistributing wealth to the poor. Guzmán's group fought to overthrow the Peruvian government and establish a communist state in Peru, using violent tactics that led to thousands of deaths. However, some people in Peru and elsewhere see Guzmán's message of social justice and equality as similar to Robin Hood's. Guzmán's legacy is controversial as his group was responsible for numerous human rights abuses and acts of terrorism. However, some people continue to see him as a champion of the poor and oppressed, and his image and message continues to inspire some in Peru and beyond. While his violent methods are not condoned, the ideals of social justice and equality he fought for continue to resonate with many people today. Number 3. Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi, the former leader of Libya, is often referred to as the Robin Hood of Libya due to his reputation of fighting for the rights of the poor and oppressed. Gaddafi led the Libyan revolution in 1969 and overthrew the monarchy, redistributing land and oil wealth to the people of Libya. He believed in creating a socialist state and empowering the people. Gaddafi's policies improved the lives of the many Libyans, providing free education, healthcare, and housing to the people. He invested heavily in infrastructure and social programs, bringing about significant improvements to the standard of living in Libya. Despite his controversial legacy, Gaddafi is remembered by many as a Robin Hood-like figure who fought for the rights of the Libyan people and worked to improve their lives. His legacy lives on in Libya and beyond. Number 2. Josip Broz Tito. Josip Broz Tito is the former leader of Yugoslavia and is often referred to as the Robin Hood of the Balkans. During his time in power, Tito implemented a number of policies and programs that aimed to improve the lives of ordinary people in Yugoslavia. One of Tito's most famous policies was the workers' self-management system, which gave workers more control over the means of production and decision-making in their workplaces. This helped to reduce income inequality and improve the standard of living for working-class people. Tito also pursued a foreign policy that emphasized non-alignment with either the Western or Soviet blocs during the Cold War. This allowed Yugoslavia to maintain its independence and pursue its own path of economic and social development. Despite his many accomplishments, Tito's legacy is not without controversy. Some criticize his authoritarian style of leadership and his suppression of political dissent. However, many still remember him as a hero who fought for the rights of the people and stood up to outside pressures in order to build a better future for Yugoslavia. Number 1. Hugo Chavez. Hugo Chavez, the late president of Venezuela, was often referred to as a modern-day Robin Hood. He was loved by many of his countrymen and was known for his socialist policies that aimed to redistribute the country's wealth to the poor. Chavez came to power in 1999 and immediately set out to implement his vision for Venezuela. He nationalized key industries such as oil and gas and used the profits to fund social programs that helped the poor. He also introduced land reform measures that aimed to give land to the landless. Despite criticism from the West, Chavez remained popular among the people of Venezuela. They saw him as a hero who stood up to the United States and had fought for their rights. However, his legacy is not without controversy. His critics accuse him of mismanaging the economy, leading to hyperinflation and shortages of basic goods. Nevertheless, for many Venezuelans, Hugo Chavez will always be remembered as a modern-day Robin Hood who fought for the poor and marginalized. Their deeds have changed the course of history. Their courage has inspired generations. They may have been outlaws, but to the people, they were heroes, and today we have celebrated their stories. So let their tales of courage and selflessness inspire you. Let them remind you that no matter how daunting the odds, there is always hope. Because as these real-life Robin Hoods have shown us, the power of the people is stronger than anything else. Thank you for watching our top 10 real-life Robin Hoods video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to Oasisify for more exciting and informative videos like this one. Your support means a lot to us and helps us to continue creating quality content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.